one love, one love, one love, one love.
Keep calm. It's your favorite DJ, DJ One Love.
Ladies and gentlemen, right now, it's the Real Life with One Love talk show, the show that deals with real life and also have fun while we're doing it. Tune in every Wednesday at 5:30, Comcast 17, and make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for all other things that will be going on with Real Life with One Love. Get ready to enjoy the show, and thank you for watching Real Life with One Love. Good evening, guys. Good evening. How y'all doing this evening? This is your boy, One Love, Real Life and One Love. Get ready to come on again right here, Comcast 17, YouTube, Facebook. You know how we do it. And we're so happy today, even though you see the picture on the screen. This gentleman, man, been doing it around the city for a good little while now. I consider him a big brother, man. He's just a real sociable, cool cat. You'll get to know him. So we want to break the ice with him today, man. We get ready to bring in my brother from another mother, GRich, Gerald Richardson, man, crooner, singer, just all around good fella, man. So we want to get ready to bring my brother in. Y'all make some noise for GRich getting ready to come into the building, man. What's up, GRich?
What it do, baby? What it do?
There he is. He's in the building.
Yeah.
So happy to have you, man. I want to get some background music going on. I like something to keep us going here.
Let's get it.
We're gonna get ready to get into it.
Okay. Man, good to see you too, brother.
Man, good to see you, man. And thank you for taking out your time on your busy schedule, man. You just coming off the road and had to go back on the road. I mean, hey, I guess the grind don't never stop, man. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it is not.
Yeah, so man, I most definitely, man, before we get into the interview, I want to give you your flowers while you can smell them, bro. Just, man, big kudos, man, and, you know, all of the accolades I can give you, man. You know, you've been in this thing. I mean, once you jumped in, you ain't never stopped. You've been going every week, and you just start doing your original music and all that stuff. So, man, I just want to congratulate you, man, on all your success, and we'll get more into it, but I want to make sure I said it on the front end, and I've had the opportunity to do some shows with you, man, and the energy was there. So I just want to appreciate you and give you flowers, man, and say thank you, GRich, man, for being who you are, bro.
Bro, I really appreciate that, man. It's a lot of work, but it's well worth it, brother.
Absolutely. So let's jump right into it, man. So Gerald Richardson, man, GRich, I actually believe, man, you've been in this music thing since knee-high to a cricket, starting off in church like majority of us do, singing and all that good thing. So give us a short roundabout way how music came into your life.
Oh, man. Short version, man. My parents were artists.
Okay.
My mom was, she sang for 60 years, man. My dad was a bass player.
Wow.
They had a gospel group, so we were, myself and my siblings, we were raised in the industry, man. Like you said, it started off gospel. I released a gospel CD in 2008, man. A lot of people don't know that, but I was raised in it, brother, so I'm not new to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what did your mom sing? Who did she sing with? Was she solo? How did it work?
Well, she did a solo project as well, but she sang with this group called the Christian Jubilees.
Yes.
It was all family just about. I think the lead player and maybe the guys that played keys, they were not family, but everybody else was family, man. My dad played bass, my uncle, he played lead for a while, and two of her sisters background sang for him.
I remember the Christian Jubilees, man. You know, me and my dad and my uncle, we had a quartet group back in the day. We was more contemporary. We was kind of ahead of our time, called the Vision Gospel Singers.
Okay.
And the Christian Jubilees used to be on our anniversary all the time.
Oh yeah. That was my mom, lead singer.
Wow, bro. I didn't even put all that together, man. That's amazing, man. So all of our worlds, they always collide some kind of way. Memphis ain't nothing but one big old happy family anyway.
That's it.
It. We fall out sometime, but teeth and tongue in the same place. Every once in a while, you bite the tongue. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, all you got to do is mention some things, man, and it'll all come together.
Absolutely, man. So, you started your solo career, so to speak, were you singing with a group coming into the R&B world, or would you just start? How did that all come about? You just started singing at spots, or how did it happen?
Well, I lived in Houston for about 8 years after I graduated. Well, after I left college, and
Okay.
it was called Southern Sound, and
Okay.
I was the singer. They had 2 rappers, and I sang in the group for maybe 3 years before I moved back to Memphis, man. And once I moved back to Memphis, I got out of the music scene for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, I got out of it for a while. I went back to school, got a couple degrees, man. I'm a social worker at heart, man. So a lot of people don't know I'm a mental health therapist.
We're gonna have to do another show then.
Yeah, most definitely.
I'm big on that. I want to get an actual whole panel for this discussion. There's gonna have to be like 2-3 shows.
Let's do it. I'm down for that, man. So when I got back, I jumped into education.
Right.
I was an adjunct professor at Russ College. So
Okay.
I've done quite a bit, man, but it started back, my career started back when I started singing background for Larry Springfield and Carmen Hicks.
Okay.
So I just strictly did background, man, and I was content until Rodney King Ellis came in the show, man, and he forced me one night to do a set. He was sitting there, and he really forced me. He said he would do a set and I would do the second set, and I was afraid, but it went over well. And I think maybe a year later, man, I was leading, man. I was leading my own band.
Wow. And I mean, but to look at you where you are now, and for you to say I was afraid, you couldn't even tell me that, because the couple of shows that I've been at, and then when I actually work with you on the show, I mean, the energy you bring into the room, the interaction you put with the audience and the crowd. I mean, you see, we have a lot of people here in the city that sing and entertain. Don't get me wrong, but what I loved about with you is, it's one thing just to say, okay, I can sing or whatever, and then the folks just gonna hear me, but to get the folks involved, you don't see a whole lot of that. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, bro. I'm like, why everybody? I ain't saying everybody need to be the same. But why didn't nobody think of that? Because that's who I am. I try to get everybody involved, from the youngest to the oldest in the room. And I was like, bro, my guy, he own it. You know what I'm saying? So, so you have the band Chemistry, right? Well, so how did?
Yeah, I play with Chemistry a lot. I do, but man, I'm all about giving people opportunity. I think about the opportunity that was given to me. And I try and stretch out as many musicians as I possibly can. If somebody's not available, I move to the next, and it takes trial and error to be honest, man. I'm really big on personality,
right?
And I think that's where I win in my shows. My personality sticks out. It's never about me. It's never about me. It's all about the person that's hiring me and the audience, man. If you can connect with the audience, you're winning, man.
Absolutely.
They will actually, get with you, man. You got to reach out and grab them. You got to get into their worlds. And I've been fortunate enough to have an outgoing personality where humility is the key, man. It's the key for me. So the more I stay humble, the more of the masses I get a chance to reach.
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about, bro. I mean, it being that, living in Memphis is like a mecca when you think about music. And I think being on the inside of it, I really think sometimes we on the inside take for granted what we really have.
Yeah.
I can name so many names like you can. And I think when we ever put our tools and fuse together, as they say in the hood, we'll really understand the conglomerate that we have, to the point to where, like, we'll be nonstop. I mean, we got Nashville, you got Atlanta, you got California, but we have all the ingredients here. And the reason I'm saying it is because you are one of those individuals that make up the ingredients.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I just think at some point it's gonna have to be to where because we all go in the same room, we all go in the same arenas, and we have to put our forces together, and everybody can win. You know what I mean? So, and one thing I do love about you as GRich or Gerald is that you never really come away from that what's the word I want to use? I don't want to say homie, but you make sure that you put your all into what you're doing, but at the same time you don't come too far away from it.
Right.
If that makes any sense, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it does. So it's really, man, I don't have to change who I am.
Right.
Even in my performances, this is who I am. So it's authentic.
Right.
You know,
Right.
a lot of people have to change it to a different character, or you know, they become their stage name. And this is who I am. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's people are gonna be drawn to the authenticity that I bring.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that's what makes a difference. That's what most definitely makes a difference.
You know, I think I'm more friendly off the stage. You know, again, man, I'm very, very big on humility.
Right.
Nobody has to ask you to do anything. You know, it's so many options in Memphis, and when people call me, I try my best, man, to give them my best.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna be professional. That's off the top. I'm gonna be professional.
Absolutely.
One thing that really carries me over the top is I'm low maintenance. I'm very low maintenance. I don't require much, right?
Yes.
I don't drink and drugs, so I don't need any alcohol. You know what I mean? So it's just there's so many things that I take away before I even get to a performance, and that kind of lets me key in on the performance itself.
Wow, that's big, bro.
Yeah,
that's real big.
Yeah.
So you said you recorded a gospel album, and I would love to hear that. I don't care how old it is. Music's gonna get old. I would love to hear that.
I still bump it today, brother.
Yeah, you got that croon in you, so you know you can't come away from it. You know, you came to our church several times and sang some solos, Doc. And
yes, sir.
You got on in there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so you did that, and then we coming up to a couple of years back. You had an opportunity to, I guess, was that your first R&B piece when you recorded naturally?
Yes, that was my first song that I wrote.
Wow.
Along with Nick Black, I got to give Nick Black his credit.
Okay.
When I got back into the industry, man, I wanted to start doing original music, my original music. So Nick Black sat down with me, and he and I completely did the first verse together.
Okay.
And what I took away from that is just be real with yourself. What do you want out of a natural love? You know what I mean? I've been married 24 years.
Wow.
And sometimes, you know, you could get lost in the sauce, man. So I thought about my situation.
Gotta applaud that. You gotta applaud that.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
24 years, you gotta applaud that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
That's what you call work. Everybody it just don't stay like that. You gotta work on it.
No. And I put you know, my experiences in my music. So again, you're able to reach the heart because people go through what I'm writing about. You know, listen, man. I have been so blessed. In the last 5 years, I've gone from singing background to singing around the world.
Absolutely. We're gonna get to that.
It's a blessing, man. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
Man. But I write about my personal experiences, man, and we're all going through something, so it resonates with people.
Yeah. And my god brother recorded your first video, Doc Film Productions.
Yes, sir. That's my guy. That's
great video, man, and great song. I still play it to this day. I actually played it Friday at Chris J event.
Thank you, bro.
It has a great feel. You know, it has some songs you play, you know, they sound good, but not every song takes you to a place. You know what I'm saying? Right. And the song and the melody, how it comes on, it takes you to a place. It kind of puts you like, you know, I'm getting ready to go to California and kick it. You know, the palm trees is going, you know, every time I hear it, it gives me a different, you know, insight to where this song could go. So, man, big kudos on that joint, man. I love it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And you know, Jonathan Richmond, man, he produced that joint. He's lacing it, man. We actually did a second song that I'm kind of in between, so I think I'm just gonna start dropping singles, man. We did another song. It's called "Life of the Party."
Yeah.
That was produced by Jonathan Richmond. So I got about 4 cuts, man. I'm about to start dropping here real soon.
Now you've been working in Boo Mitchell's studio.
Oh
That's
yeah.
that's big. That's major,
Oh
there, bro.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that
I
big.
just cut my second single with Boo Mitchell last week.
Yeah, I saw that. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's big, bro. So man, things are happening for you, man. I'm so happy for you, bro.
Yeah,
And
man.
and you're now literally on stage with one of my favorite funk bands of all time.
Oh yeah.
Because my uncle and them used to have a group back in the day called Fascination,
Okay.
and I thought they was 2 bands, the Gap Band and Cameo, because that's basically all they performed, and maybe Lakeside. And when I of course when Marcus Malone said he was playing for, I was like, wow, that's big. And then you turned around and was singing background for one, like, man, my homeboy with Cameo. Man, I'm talking about there's so many hits over there with Cameo, man.
Oh
So
my God.
how did that actually come about?
Man, you just mentioned Marcus Malone. So funny story, man. I was at a fish market eating one day, and Marcus called and he was like, man, God is about to change your life. I was like, man, I received it. You know what I mean? He was like, nah, man. He said, you about to receive a call from either New York or LA.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I didn't know, man. And he hung up the phone, bro. Next few minutes, Larry Blackman was on my line, man. And
wow.
Yeah, man, invited me to a city, and he was like, look, I would love to meet you.
Woo!
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I saw your video, I heard your chops, and I want you to be a member of Cameo, man. And
wow.
I flew out 3 days later, and that was 3 years ago, bro. So yeah.
Man, that's major, man. I'm talking about, I mean, how does it feel to be on the stage, especially with you you kind of grew up in that era, listening to that music, and then to be performing with them. I know they had to be like, the first go round, like overwhelmed, like, is this really happening?
I gotta tell this story, one little song. First show, it was 11,000 people.
Jesus Christ.
My very first show, man. So we were in Texas, and we were backstage, and I looked out of the curtain, and it blew my mind.
Wow.
And I hadn't really had a conversation except over the phone with Larry. So my first time seeing him was at the show.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I was starstruck.
I can imagine, bro.
Yeah, so he and I come out on the same side of the stage, man, and I'm sitting there looking like this is just a surreal moment, to be with a legend. And it was a show where I was actually auditioning.
Okay.
In front of 11,000 people, man.
That's amazing.
But needless to say, I got the call, but we left that city and went to Pontiac, Michigan, had another show. And they gave me a call that Monday morning saying, hey, look, man, you got the gig, man. So it's been love. Man, one love, I got to say this. When I got the call from Larry that day, 5 minutes later, I got a call from the Temptations.
For real?
That same day, Otis Williams called me the same day, and he was like, man, how would you like to be a temp? I was like, oh my God, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Wow.
It panned out that I stuck with Cameo, man. So it's been a blessing, bro.
Man, so how did they end up reaching out to you? How did that happen?
They saw naturally. They saw the video naturally.
For real?
They saw the video. Otis Williams called me. He was like, listen, man, I just saw your video. I don't know how the guy got my number.
Wow.
But his manager ended up giving me a call back, and it had to be God, man. My flight got jacked up, and they kind of moved on. And just recently, a few months ago, they called me back. Yeah, so but I'm in a good place. You know what I mean? I feel like
Right.
Cameo is a part of my soul. You know,
Yeah.
and I deliver. You know, when I go out, man, I have a role to play, and I'm happy with my role. So why shake it up when it's working, brother?
But if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it.
Don't try to fix it, man.
Yeah. And the
And
Temptation
my
probably
role
been a
is
little bit more,
really
a little bit more
great.
work, 'cause they do a lot of choreography. So not
Yeah,
that you don't move with Cameo, but
yeah,
you know the Temps, they doing all the moves, dog. They
yeah, yes,
ain't too
sir.
proud of
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes, sir. I love him, man. I get a chance to still talk to him, and you
That's
know,
good.
it's all spirit led, man. I think God has placed me in a phenomenal situation with the gift that
Right.
He's allowed me to use, and I use it to uplift Him, man.
Wow, bro. Man, I did not know all that occurred, bro.
It's a lot. It's a lot that's transpired over the last 4 or 5 years, man.
I'm so glad I had a chance to do this interview because a lot of times I don't think here in the city, um, and I'm hoping that, this thing gets big, that because I'm sharing this, storing all the stuff, but I'm there's nowhere in the city, no one in the city that's actually, getting behind the scenes, talking to
Yeah,
a lot of the artists and letting them know what's going on and what it really takes to do what you all are doing. They
yeah,
just see you on the stage and don't understand,
right,
hey, this takes
right.
some work.
This is hard work, man. To be honest, man. But when it's in you, it's a joy to do.
Yeah,
I don't go out and create problems for myself, man. Musically, God has blessed me. He's
right.
blessed me. I think you said something that was so profound. You can go out and you can be a singer. I can croon
Hmm.
with the best of them, but I
Right.
want to give you the biggest bang for your buck. So you're going to be entertained
You want to
along
give
with
them the GRich
oh,
experience.
the whole experience, baby. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. You want to give them the GRich experience,
Yes,
bro.
sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So, man, wow, man, I'm kind of stuck, man, because I'm thankful for you, bro. Because, like I say, I think was it probably about 3 years ago we sat down and had lunch,
Yeah.
and we had said we were gonna get together, and didn't know it was gonna be, we've seen each other before in between then, but
Yes,
I
sir.
didn't know all that. Of course, this was gonna happen, and all of it, all what happened for you in between all this. So it's amazing, bro, what God can put you if you
Yeah.
just stay humble. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you are a humble guy, bro.
Man,
So
thank you, man.
a lot of guys, you know, are in the music industry, and I wanna hone in on this because I think it's key. You said
Okay.
you've been married 24 years,
Yes, sir.
and we know that's not easy work,
Right.
but it's hard work, not
Yeah.
hard work, but it's
Yeah.
hard work with your
Yes, sir.
heart. You understand what
That's
I'm
right.
saying?
That's
So
right.
with that being said, you don't hear a lot of individuals to speak up on that when they're married because it's all about the ego and how many women I can get because I am who I am now and da 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 da. So
Right.
it being that this is real life with one love, what would you give to an individual who's married in the music industry, and what would you say, uh, and what type of advice would you give?
Man, that's a great question, man. I think what works for me, one love, is consistency.
Gotcha.
If it was one word that I could, define the whole experience, is consistency.
Wow.
Once I have three daughters, man, 30, 23, and 17.
Awesome.
And they look up to me, and they need to
Mhm.
know what a real man looks like. A
Absolutely.
real married man looks like, man. If you're in the industry or you're trying to cut into the industry, man, just be consistent, man. Especially if you're married. My wife just actually got off the road with me this past weekend. I opted to drive instead of fly. So
Okay. Okay.
we drove down. She got a chance to ride on the Sprinter with us and experience that whole
Yeah.
ordeal. She was backstage. So I try and involve her. I keep her involved in my experiences because it's not just about me. The more
Absolutely.
I can bring her along, show her, look, this is what goes on, this is what we do, and it's consistent. I don't
Hmm.
get I don't get out of character, man. This is what it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Right.
as long as I can show her the experience, the more belief, the more faith that she'll have that I'll go out and do what I say I'm gonna do. So
That's
it
amazing,
works.
bro. And
It worked.
I have to applaud it. I've been married, be 21 years for us uh
Congratulations.
this year, so I ain't too far behind you.
Yeah.
You got me on them girls though. I got one girl, she be 20 next year, but
Okay.
and I got a boy, young man rather. He'll be 16 this year. So
Oh wow.
most definitely, it's. I think a lot of people say those are your wives.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's the reason why you do what you do. Your wife and your children, those are your wives, and that's why you do it, man. So,
Yeah, man.
um, if there was anything that you could tell upcoming artists or artists that's currently in it and struggling, or artists that want to get back in the game that's been on the sideline for a minute, what would you offer? It being that now that you've had the opportunity to start where you were, to come where you are now, and then be able to take center stage with a already well developed big brand name Cameo and get on the stage with them, what would you be able to offer and tell them to keep them going?
Work on your craft. Work on
Yeah,
your craft.
yeah,
It's funny. It's funny. I've gone to some local places here in town, and I see some of the guys doing a lot of stuff that I do.
yes,
Be authentic. Be
right,
authentic. Work on your
right,
craft.
right,
What I do won't get you to the next level, but what you do will. Work
absolutely,
on your craft. Develop. You're a DJ, so I'm sure other DJs play the same music, but
absolutely,
your deliverance sets you apart.
absolutely,
You know what I
absolutely,
mean?
yeah,
I count it all joy, man, when I go out and I see some of the guys or ladies doing some of the things that I do within the show. But hey, it's okay. That means I set a trend.
I
That means
know
that
I hadn't done it yet. Not to cut you off, I hadn't done it yet, but I'm gonna do that thing when you get them girls out there and sit down. Either I'm gonna bring you with me to do it, or I'm gonna get it done some kind of way.
let's
I
get
love
it.
that whole interaction. I kind of do it when I do karaoke in a sense, but man, I'm talking about that was magic to me. I love stuff like that. It just
Yeah.
that's what it's called, show business. I love
Yes,
stuff like
sir. Yes, sir. We're in the moment,
that. Yeah,
and I think what has happened by touring with a major act, you learn to identify the moment.
absolutely.
It doesn't happen all the time, but when it happens, you have to capitalize on the
Hmm.
moment. And
Okay,
I think my profession really helps me with that, man. I'm a therapist, so I'm always looking for that next moment. What's going to
you
happen
already
next?
always forward thinking.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So they come, and as an artist, you got to get to the point where you're recognizing certain things within a show. You
yeah,
may have a set list, but if something happens where you have to transition into something else, you got to recognize that. And I think that's where
absolutely,
I set myself apart. I'm not so rigid until I don't get off script, you know.
absolutely.
So be
That's
authentic,
big.
man. Work on your craft and be authentic. Be real with this thing. It resonates with the people when you're real,
Yeah,
man. What's from the heart reaches the
reaches the
heart.
heart. Let me
Yeah,
circle back because I just thought about another thing, and then we almost about to wrap it up. Um, it being that like literally you got called on the spot.
right.
I'm sure that you listened to Cameo. We've all listened to Cameo, but I'm sure they probably don't do all of their music because they got a pretty nice catalog.
Mhm.
But how did you prepare yourself? What was the preparation part? Is like listening to their music, getting what parts you had to get. I mean, did you like to listen? Did you have to listen to Cameo always to this show, or how did you do that? How did you get the words and all that type of thing? How did that work?
That's exactly what I did. Uh, being in major bands like that, man, and we're all from different cities, right?
Right,
Practice time is minimal to none.
right,
You
wow,
are professional. You are
right,
professional. We just actually, and it's funny you asked this question. We just did Cameosis and Rigor Mortis.
right.
Cameosis, I knew the song, but I never ever studied the song.
Hmm.
So I lead Cameosis. The
Right.
song I
Wow.
lead it. Yeah, man. So they called me and they was like, "Hey, start putting your ear on this." But he didn't tell me I was gonna lead it.
Right.
But as a professional, you learn the totality of the song. So
Right.
what I did, I started to break down the background, and then I transitioned into the lead, just in case. You never know, man. A moment, somebody calls your number, you got to be ready. So when we
Wow,
got to
man.
the venue, they were like, "Hey, you're leading Cambiosis, right? What if I hadn't prepared?
Yeah.
What if I hadn't prepared?
Right.
Work on your craft. Preparation is everything.
Everything.
It's everything.
Wow,
I don't just go to a show. If I send a set list, I've actually listened to these songs to deliver them the best I can deliver them. And you know, it comes along with the territory. And that's what one of the managers told me. Hey, look, you're a professional, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm a professional. Well, we don't rehearse. You just got to be ready. That was my first show. That was in 2000, early 2019. And he said, be ready. You never know when your number is called. That was my first lesson. Yeah, man. So even now, we've got 20 dates between now and August or September. 20 dates. So of course, these set lists are gonna change. I listen to Cameo now. I listen to Cameo all the time.
I mean, you got to. That's your job. That's your work.
I listen to it all the time. You know, so
this your resume.
The album, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
Wow, bro. That's big. Man, look, our time is up, man. It's like this is the quickest 25, 30 minutes I've ever seen in my life. But I really appreciate you, man, taking out your time, man, just coming off the road from another interview, man. And look, we're going to get back with you on that mental piece because that's something that I'm really big on. I have a testimony that I went through behind it. So, man, I want to appreciate you again, man. Thank you for your time. And, man, you have a safe trip to the house. And we'll talk soon, man. This has been
It's Real Life with One Love.
Thank you, my brother.
Hey, man, much love, one love, much love.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right.